That gives you the opportunity to use that lower bracket to your advantage. Who should not do it? People that are in their highest earning years, and they're expected to be in a lower income tax bracket in retirement. That doesn't make any sense. And this is one that I saw years ago, back in 1998, which was the first year we could do Roth IRAs. Individual converted $600,000 in 1998. Now, for a couple of years, he looked like a genius because the market went up tremendously after that. And you could stretch out the taxes and pay a quarter of each year for 4 years. But his $800,000 turned into $300,000 in 2001, 2002. So he had to pay tax on $600,000 to have that benefit of a $300,000, or maybe even less because he was teched up.
How old was he? Where is it today, I wonder, though?
Well, the key there was he was 61 years old.
I was going to ask you that
He was going to work for 3 more years, and he was making like $150,000 a year, and in retirement he was going to have $70,000 a year. So he paid taxes for 3 of the 4 years at a super high tax bracket. The 4th year he didn't, and he lost money, and because it was past the time he could undo it, he stuck with it.
And he should have never done it in the first place because he knew
those were his highest tax earning years.
Well, he knew he was going to retire in a 15% tax bracket, too.
But when they first came out, and still today, all you hear about is how great it is to convert.
Now, his income This is, my friends, why you need help, okay? This is why you need the Lucia Capital Group to help you with your strategy. We'll help you. We'll walk you away from something like this.
His income was actually like $95,000 a year when he did it.
I remember that story, yeah.
Because he was under the $100,000, but it was going to drop to $50,000 or $60,000 when he retired a couple years later. And some of that was going to be Social Security.
Now, you should probably, when talking about putting stuff into Roth, I would assume that your less tax-efficient investments probably belong in the Roth, right?
Well, depending on where you are in your strategy, yes. I mean, but, a lot of times growth, even though it's somewhat tax efficient, is still the appropriate investment for a Roth IRA.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But if I'm already in retirement, I'm looking to try to benefit me somehow, doing high-income assets is not a bad thing to do, because then I can get a high income that is potentially tax-free, but this also means that I want to have at least started my 5-year clock 5 years ago, so that I can get the money tax-free.
Absolutely. It's all part of strategy, and you get the strategy right here from these Brain Trust members at Lucia Capital Group. Terry just mentioned them. I'll tell you their phone number if you need them off the air, you want a strategy done, or just a money question answered. 800-644-1150. 800-644-1150. I'm Johnny Dean. This is the Boomers Brain Trust Program.
We're talking about what's important to you, your money, your business, your life. This is Boomer's Brain Trust.
The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the station or its sponsors and should not be considered as legal, tax, or investment advice. You should always consult with the appropriate advisors before making a decision. Lucia Wealth Services advisors are registered representatives of Lucia Securities LLC, member SIPC. Lucia Capital Group, Lucia Wealth Services, and Lucia Securities are affiliates.
Hi, it's Colin Coward. You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700. Catch me weekdays at 7 a.m. ESPN Radio 1700.
Welcome to Lunch and Learn Radio with host Frank Kriticos, author and credit expert from San Diego Credit Solutions. Lunch and Learn Radio on ESPN Radio 1700.
All right, welcome. We're live in the studio today, Lunch and Learn Radio, ESPN 1700. I am your host, Frank Kriticos, and we have a great show for you lined up today. I am a real estate show host, but I am not in real estate. How interesting is that? The reason why I was asked to host a show is because I come from a non-biased position. It's just one of those things where a show is hosted by either an agent or a lender. Maybe there's a little bit of bias there, but for myself, I am actually a credit advisor. I am involved in the real estate, I guess you could say, space, because that's where most of my business comes from. It's from lenders and agents all over the country, but mostly locally here in San Diego. But with that being said, we have 2 powerful agents in the studio today. The one and only Minnie Rizalski. How are you?
How are you doing, Frank?
I'm doing great. And Joseph Aronson. Did I say that correctly?
You said it right, Frank.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you both for coming into the studio. We have a lot of stuff to cover. Minnie, I'm just going to start with you. First of all, I need to ask you about all these, at the end of your name, PSAR, GRI, SRS. I have no idea what all that stuff stands for, so I'm just going to start at the top of the list.
Okay. GRI stands for Graduated Realtor Institute.
Okay.
SRS is a Salaries Representative Specialist. IHLM is Institute for Luxury Home Marketing. and CDPD, that was for a short sale designation.
Okay, so these are actually certifications.
Certifications that I've received,
which
yes.
is really interesting to me because it shows that you're spending a lot of time in the real estate field. And for everybody listening, there's one thing that I always bring up every single show, and that is any agent that is in the studio on my show is here representing a full-time job. Their business is full-time. The reason why I say that is because I come across many agents that do this on a part-time basis, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But there's a big but. I just want everybody to know that any agent that is in the studio on my show, this is their lifestyle, this is their full-time gig, and to me that makes a big difference. It really does, because it seems like everybody knows a relative, family, or friend. They do 1 to 2 transactions a year, and it's kind of a pet peeve of mine because a lot of times I'm involved in those transactions from the credit side.
Yep.
And I hate to see it, but I see the evidence of somebody that maybe doesn't really know what they're doing fully. And I'm trying to put that in a very nice, tasteful way.
And we see it all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you see it as well.
Definitely. And it's frustrating when you're actually in a transaction with someone that's not knowledgeable.
Or we're having to do both sides, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I could only imagine from your perspective, because from my perspective, I reach out to the agent and the lender, mostly the lender, because in my business, working on the credit side, I have to make sure that they get loan approval. So I will always reach out to the lender and work backwards. So, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Lender, what is it that you need to get this file a loan approval? And then I go from there. Yep. And some of the answers that I get is alarming. Alarming. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yep.
But Minnie, there's something here that I read about you that I didn't know.
Okay.
And I must say I'm pretty impressed.
Uh-oh.
San Diego Magazine 5-star professional 5 years in a row.
I can now say 6 years in a row.
6 years in a row.
Ooh,
really?
2015. I just got notified.
Good for you. How does that happen? What's the trick?
They basically go after my clients, my past clients, and they give them a test, a little survey, and that's how you get it. And it's very detailed. So I've had some of my past clients say, hey, Minnie, I just got notified in the mail of the survey, and they complete it, they send it in, and so it's basically past clients that I've worked with.
I think that's great. That shows a lot about your commitment to the business. How long have you been in the business?
Uh-oh. Now I'm going to age.
Well,
first, I go, uh-oh.
Well, first, let me say this. I know that you started at the age of 9.
Thank you very much.
but you've been you're not a rookie.
No, no. I've been doing this for 26 years.
Really?
I started with loans. I started with loans when the loans were 12, 14%.
Whew.
Didn't like doing loans. Then I became a flipper.
Really?
I became a flipper in the 90s, and I would sell my own homes. And then I decided to open up my business.
All here in San Diego,
All
correct?
here
You're
in
native San Diego.
I'm a native San
Nice.
Diegan.
So you're not a transplant like myself.
No.
I'm the odd man out.
No. I know San Diego very well.
So Joe, you as well. What's interesting about what I learned with you is that you're still relatively young, but you also started early, and your family is heavily in the real estate industry. Is that correct?
Yeah, to an extent there. Yeah, I did start off young. I started selling real estate when I was 19 years old.
Nice.
Yeah, try to convince someone to buy a house or to list with you when you're 19 years old. And
when you look like a baby.
Exactly. Oh, at the time I thought I was an adult and I was doing great. Yeah, I still did pretty darn well, but I was young. But I've been in business now for 7 years. Yeah. Awesome. And really the reason why I got into business wasn't necessarily that my family was already in the business, because they really aren't on the sales side, but they are in almost every other aspect of business. Okay. I have a cousin who does some high-end remodels. That's Chad of all trades. Absolutely phenomenal. A cousin that is in the top 100 interior designers in the state, and that's Intimate Living. That's Carrie Aronson. My sister, she was in escrow, and then my uncle, he was involved in some sales and investments, and it just kind of made sense for me to get into the business.
Exactly.
Yes.
My 2 daughters are also in real estate.
For the both of you, this is really all you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's great because I know a lot of people got into the business. I remember, during the height of the market, 05 or so, there were many professionals, and I'm talking attorneys, even some doctors that I knew of, that quit their industry and went into real estate.
Yep, I know some as well.
Yeah, and that was very interesting to me.
I still run into those.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's amazing that you both. I mean, you've never really had a real job then. I mean, real estate is it.
For the most part, yeah. For me, yeah.
Which I think is great.
I have other jobs, but real estate has been my number one.
Yeah. So you mentioned your daughters are also involved. Is that right?
Yes, my daughter is a real estate broker. She just transplanted to Australia.
Wow.
And then my youngest daughter is a salesperson, and she has her own property management company. So we're all in real estate.
Good for you. That's great. Frank Kriticos here, ESPN 1700 in the studio. Minnie Rozelski. Minnie, what is your phone number?
619-702-2400.
Okay. Say that one more time.
619-702-2400.
And Joe, how about your contact info, your phone number?
Yeah, you guys can reach me on my 888 line. That's 888-503-3117. Once again, that's 888-503-3117.
So, Joe, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I have written down a few notes when we spoke, and you mentioned a phrase that I thought was very interesting, and I don't know anything about it, but I want to hear what a lone wolf is, your definition.
Yeah, it's what I see as the lone wolf buyer, and there's really like two of them out there. There's the lone wolf buyer who's getting into the market and thinking of the idea of purchasing a property. They're looking online. They're doing all the research on their own. They're not really prepping themselves to purchase, but maybe they're still a little wishy-washy. And then there's the second one, which is that buyer who thinks he knows everything, and he's doing the research online, and maybe he goes and purchases a property through an agent or whatnot. But when you look at the first one, I run into this problem constantly, and it's someone that's looking, and then they come across the perfect property for them. And they absolutely love the home. They call up the first agent that they can get on the phone to take them over there, and most of the time they were too late. The property's already sold. And then even if the property hasn't sold, they have an agent that they haven't interviewed. They don't know who this agent is representing them. Too many times, and it happens to me, which is great. They call me up and I help them out. Luckily, it's me though. I'm looking out for their best interest where. I can go negotiate for them. I can find them, or I can do the due diligence and really research the property versus someone else that maybe isn't the best fit for them. And, they end up losing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 or leaving that on the table or getting into a house that they couldn't afford or missing something on an inspection. And that's what I consider that lone wolf buyer is someone that's trying to do it on their own until they find the right property for them, and then they reach out to someone.
Which goes back to my comment earlier in regards to the part-time agent. So we're talking about a part-time agent does a couple transactions per year, and that's not even sufficient. That's just not good enough, especially in this market.
You got to look at it as if you're going to go get a knee surgery, you're going to go see a knee surgeon. Right. Or are you going to go see, your pharmacist?
Right.
I mean, that might, help out once or twice a year. You need a true professional working for you. Someone that does it on a day-to-day basis and that has been through the transaction, hundreds of times. They're just going to be able to do the right thing for you, get you a good deal, keep you safe. And that's a big aspect.
I would assume, Minnie, that you agree with what he's saying?
Yes, I do. Actually, what I've noticed is that buyers' agents aren't educating their clients to contact them. And so they're calling me, and the first thing I ask is, who's your agent? I don't ask, do you have an agent? It's like, who's your agent? And right away, they're like, oh, so-and-so. It's like, okay, I give them the information, but they need to contact that agent because I feel like if I'm being unethical by taking, their...
You don't want to step on anybody's toes.
No. Right.
That's kind of the other aspect of the second buyer that I see as being a lone wolf. It's that person that thinks they know it. Maybe they're retired real estate professional and they did it some other state or they've done lending or something. They think they know everything. So they're doing researches on their own. Maybe they call the listing agent. And that's not the right way to go about it. Maybe they probably think they can get a good deal by contacting the listing agent. However, they don't understand that listing agent who's representing the seller is contractually obligated to their seller to get them the best deal possible, to get them the most money for their home. So how is he going to represent the buyer and get him the best deal possible? but also represent the seller and get them the most money.
Another good analogy would almost be trying to defend yourself in court without an attorney.
Exactly.
It's exactly
Exactly.
And it's just not going to work usually. You're not going to be successful.
Well, think about how much conflict of interest there is there.
Yeah.
And then plus,
it's pretty hard.
Unfortunately,
pretty hard
there's a lot of agents, the ones that do it part-time, and they're looking at that commission versus looking at what's best for their client.
Exactly.
So what I do is I hand that buyer off to one of my associates. Even though they're still at the same brokerage, they're still on my team, we represent our clients to the best extent we can. And I learned that at early age in the business, and I had my mentor at the time. We got into a transaction together. I thought it was going to be easy. We'll work together. And no, we went at it. We battled day in and day out to get our clients the best deals possible.
It brings up another thought that just popped in my mind. When the short sales were hot, right? A lot of times I would hear from my clients and just from people that I know within my sphere that they're represented by an agent that's been in the business for 30, 35 years. But then my thought was, but that really doesn't mean anything, because in the area of short sales, it was almost like everybody was kind of a rookie again, because it was brand new.
Right.
Yeah. And that was very interesting to me.
But let me tell you, I started doing short sales in 2005, before short sales were hot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I would think that you would just sell the house and have plenty of equity.
No, 2005 I started. So
that's.
So I consider myself an expert in that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And you are the broker of your company.
Yes,
and your
broker
company,
owner.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the name of your company?
Remax 24K.
24K.
And we're 24K. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
All gold.
And again, your number is 619-702-2400. If anybody has any questions for Minnie, just call her directly. You don't have to go through me. It's just not necessary. Just call directly, 619-702-2400. And what is your email, Minnie?
Minnie, MINNIE, 24K Realty @gmail.com.
Perfect. There you have it. Joseph. I can call you Joe, right?
You can call me Joe.
Okay,
I think we're there now. So.
And you are with Cantor, is that right?
So Cantor is the brokerage. These guys are phenomenal. I just joined on with these guys about 3 months ago, and I took my company, the Aronson Group, and kind of made it a division of Cantor Brokerage. But it's still my team. I still have the same people in place.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's more of a boutique type of brokerage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have two offices, one downtown, one in La Jolla, and then they have plans to put one up in North County.
It's funny because I went for my monthly fill to Bird Rock Coffee.
Yep.
And next door was Cantor.
There it
is.
I was
like, wow, that's interesting.
And what a cool office, right?
Yes. Oh, what a spot. What a location.
Location, just the design, the architectural design. And these guys, they're really they're doing some good things here in San Diego. They have some development projects going. They got the brokerage going. They do some wealth management. Doing pretty good.
Okay, perfect. And your number, 888-503-3117. 888-503-3117. Have to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive in a little bit more deeper, and we have a very interesting topic to cover that is associated with Mexico. Very interesting. We'll be right back.
California Preferred Escrow, serving the real estate industry across San Diego County. For more information about California Preferred Escrow, this great local company, call 619-475-4094. That's 619-475-4094.
Walmart presents Be Ready for the Office Coffer.
Every office has one. That awesome guy who's so committed that he comes to work even when he's sick. So you get to share much more than just email.
Be prepared with 3 packs of 75-count Clorox disinfecting wipes for $9.97, 20 packs of 250-count Spring Valley Vitamin C for $9, and 24-count Tylenol Cold and Flu Severe caplets for $6.48.
Walmart shopper 1, coughing guy 0.
Save money, live better, Walmart.
For a true craftsman, doing the job right starts with the best quality materials. That's why for most Red Wing work boots, we use leather made from steer hides. It's sturdier and, well, beefier than hides from cows. Sure, it may cost a little more, but it makes for a more durable, comfortable boot. One made with the same handcrafted pride you put into your work every day. Red Wing Shoes. Work is our work.
The citizens have been listening to politicians for a long time when they should have been listening to Social Encounter. Now it's time for the citizens to speak. Social Encounter is an independent party that wants to be the voice of those who don't have a voice. Go to encuentro.social and join a new way of doing politics without politics. The podium is yours. Social Encounter. Do it together.
Welcome back, Lunch and Learn Radio. Frank Kriticos, your host, ESPN 1700 in the studio. Minnie Rozowski alongside her, Joe Aronson. How are you both doing?
Awesome.
Okay, so we were talking about a lot of different cool things before. I want to get a little bit more specific on where you guys actually cover. Minnie, are you an agent that covers all of San Diego County, or do you like to be more, pick like a niche area within the county?
Okay, I do all of San Diego County. However, my expertise is from La Jolla all the way down to the border.
Okay.
And then east all the way up to Alpine. That's it.
Okay, so
I
Central, Coastal, South Bay,
South
of course.
Bay, yeah.
And I know that you reside in South Bay, right?
Yes, I'm in Bonita.
And you have a beautiful house, by the way.
Thank you so much.
And so, okay, so I know that you're well known in the South Bay, and that's certainly probably the majority where your business is. Is that accurate? Or am I just assuming?
No, you're right. But I also have an office in North Park. So
that's right.
So in North Park and Metro, that
area is just taken off.
Isn't it? It's beautiful.
I remember when I first moved here. Okay. And I'll never forget this. I'm wondering if I should even share this on air. But I was going down the 15, and I actually got pulled over, and I took the exit, which was Adams Avenue. So I'm going 15 south, get off Adams Avenue, and I actually get out of the ticket. And then I make a left turn, and I remember thinking to myself, ooh, this area is not probably the greatest. And now it's one of the hottest spots in all of San Diego.
Oh, my God. Past 3 to 4 years, investors have been buying and flipping homes that are tiny, 1,000 square feet, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. They've been converting them to 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. Of course, you're not getting much land, but now they're going for $700,000, $800,000.
That is incredible.
It's incredible. So you have a lot of educators, attorneys, physicians, of course, artists, all living there.
They've done such a great job, especially going up and down. What is it? Is it 30th or
30th? It's 30th.
Wow, great spots to eat.
I'm in the corner of 30th and Upas, next to Alexander's.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a great restaurant.
Oh, pizza's the greatest.
Yes.
Their white pizza. Ooh.
Yes. Wow. Now I'm off track in my train of thought. Yeah, all right.
Lots of restaurants.
It is lunchtime, so
yeah. Wow, that's great. I'm gonna have to stop by and then maybe head next door and get some food. Joe, how about yourself? What is? And again, there's no right or wrong answer, but sometimes some agents will cover the whole county, and other times they just want to be specific.
I kind of run same line as Minnie over here. Cover all San Diego County. However, my primary focus and where I work is North County coastal, so Encinitas, Carlsbad, those areas. With that said, I sell properties out in El Cajon, down in North Park and whatnot. However, if I ever feel like I am not able to give my client, or I guess my client's not going to be able to benefit from me, my knowledge in the area, then I have agents who I'll hand off to. I got a great guy down in South County, down south where you are. I got great guys out in East County. If I feel that I would be doing them a disservice by helping them, then I hand it off.
Right.
Yeah. But for the most part, I'd say I'm a North County coastal guy.
Okay. Yeah. I really think that's. I think it says something about you guys. You know your area. You guys are experts in that area. And if it's a transaction that maybe is not in your specific area, you could still help them. But I guess the feeling that I'm getting is that you're not going to try to chase the dollar for every single transaction. And I feel like that's a difference.
It's not all about the money.
It's all about the relationship.
Exactly.
That's how I've grown my businesses, through relationships, and then the money will follow. It's
exactly.
Business 101.
And I'm still working towards that. 7 years in the business, and that's really where I, made my primary focus is absolutely just making sure my clients are happy.
Right.
They're safe. They're happy with what's going on. They're educated, and I do that so I can hopefully get referrals from them. So they'll send me their friends and
I
family.
know you're doing a great job because you were introduced to me, and
appreciate that.
You're doing a good thing.
Yeah,
thank you.
Good for you. Good for you. So I wanted to bring somebody into the studio by telephone. Now this lady wants to promote what I think it's interesting because this is a topic that I was wondering about not too long ago, and it's about probate. And that is, from what I understand, a scary thing. I've never personally been a part of it, but I know that people need to be aware of that topic. So, Tina, are you on the line?
Yes, I am. Hello.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you so much for having me here.
Sure. So your organization, and let everybody know what organization you are a part of.
Yes, ARIA is Asian Real Estate Association of America. So we basically, focus our effort into promoting sustainable homeownership in the Asian Pacific Islander community. So we have varied membership, from realtors to lawyers to different vendors, lenders, title, even, local regular people who just want to be a part of our, community, of our association.
Right. Now, I know you've been around for a while. You have quite a big following. I was never sure if I would be allowed to follow because I'm only half Asian, so I'm not the full breed. I'm not the real deal. So so I apologize for that.
Everybody can follow.
That's so funny. But you have a big event coming, and that's why I wanted you to call into the show today. I think it's really important that people get a better understanding about probate because I'll be honest with you, I just know the very basics, and I know that this is a serious topic. So you have an event coming up. Let's see here. Is it tomorrow?
Yes, it's tomorrow.
Oh, my goodness.
It's going to be in Doubletree Hotel in Hazard Center. I know there's two Doubletree, one in the Hotel Circle. This one is in Friars, the one in the Hazard Center.
Got it.
So like you mentioned, it is really important for people to know, especially in our industry, that consumers are also welcome, so they can understand the probate process from A to Z. I mean,
so it's open for everybody.
Yes, for everybody.
So tomorrow at 2 to 8 p.m. Wow, that's a lot of information there from 2 to 8 p.m.
Well, we divided it into two. It's a two-part. First part is from 2 to 5 is the class. We have a probate attorney from LA who's going to come down and teach us everything that we need to know about probate, and then from 5 to 8 is our networking portion. We have a Halloween party. So this one is really just open for everybody. It's free. The class is $25 for ARIA members or $35 for non-members if they just want to, know about the probate.
Okay.
It's interesting because I'm not sure if you were at the Real Estate Mastery event a few days ago, but, they mentioned about the probate, that this is one niche that's going to come up. And we were just laughing. We're like, oh, I didn't even know that, and now that we're going to teach this because the attorney actually told us that, in the next couple of years, there's going to be 15 trillion, not million, trillion money that's going to go through probate, court. So,
right, and I see that here, and let me just read this. Over
Sure.
15 trillion worth of inheritance is estimated to pass through the probate court in 2017. And then that's what you guys will be talking about. But like you said, 15 trillion with a T, and that all could be prevented.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's I think what you're doing is great. What is your contact info so somebody can reach you for more information?
They can go to our this event website. It's called AREAA, AREAA, San Diego Events with an S.com, and it goes straight to our Eventbrite for this event.
Okay, so AREAA, San Diego Events.com. I'm writing this down right now, and they can get all the information. But this is tomorrow, so if anybody wants to go to this, I tell you what, I may have to stop by because
Please.
It's very interesting. I recently had a conversation with my parents in regards to this topic, and
right,
it's one that they're telling me everything is set up in a trust and so on and so forth. But I think it's worth checking out.
Right,
and all it could do is help you. That's the way I feel about it. Tina, thank you very, very much for calling into the show. This is a very important thing that you're offering, and it's well worth the $25. I think that's amazing.
Definitely.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that's interesting. Have you heard any horror stories in regards to probate?
No, not recent, but yeah, there is a lot of horror stories, and I've actually sold probate.
Really?
Yeah. I'm actually going through one right now where I'm doing the comps for the attorneys.
I hear that there is a huge percentage that I guess goes to the state, of course.
People don't understand that if they die intestate, the courts have it. And you'll get it back, but it's going to take you thousands of dollars.
And years, I hear.
Yes.
It's just a lengthy process, which doesn't surprise me in the state of California or any state for that matter.
So it's better to pay up front, get your living will, living trust, and, have that all.
Which is very affordable. I mean, a trust is only I probably shouldn't quote any numbers, but I know it's less than a couple $1,000. I mean, it's not ridiculous. And when you're talking about properties that are worth hundreds of thousands, and if you got multiple properties, maybe in the millions, it's just a no-brainer.
I think people don't know about it.
Yes. Or I believe that, and this was my thought. My thought was that it's a lot of work. It's an area that we don't know, and when some people don't know the area, we all tend to do nothing.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like in my profession with credit. People that call me, that's the hardest part, is to call me, because I can help them. But they know they have, quote unquote stuff going on. Mm-hmm. They know it's there. They know it has to be resolved. They just don't know enough about it. They don't feel comfortable. It's the unknown. It's the fear of the unknown, which really debilitates a lot of us.
Well, people tell me it's like, oh, I have a will. A will is fine, but you need a trust.
Right.
It's not just a will.
Yeah, that's why I wanted Tina to call in, just so we can let people know how important this is. That's a big deal. So, where were we? Lots of stuff I still want to ask you. I know that we have to take a break in a couple of minutes. What's going on lately with this market? Is it things slowing down? I'm hearing things are slowing down, but I don't really know what that means. What does slowing down mean?
Okay.
In your opinion?
I'll tell you what's going on with me, with my area.
Okay.
Basically, homes are coming in the market. We're getting more inventory. However, they're slow going to sell, to get into escrow. So not quite sure,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, have you seen it pick up in the last, say, 3 weeks or maybe about 2 months here because of the little drop in interest rates?
A little, but not really. Not
so,
really.
Yeah, that is interesting to me that you mentioned that up. That you bring that up, because I wonder how much of an effect does it really have when interest rates go up and down. It's always just a thought of mine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can look at it two ways. You can look at the stats. You can find out what's selling, what areas are hot, and whatnot. But what I like to look at is, my perspective. What am I seeing in the market? Mm-hmm. I'm in it every day. I'm talking to people every single day.
I agree 100%. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. And also, we're going to talk about this amazing project that Minnie has in San Felipe. It's really cool. I want to check it out myself personally.
Hey, you're free to go.
ESPN 1700. This is Frank Kriticos. We'll be right back.
This is John Kincaid with a CBS Sports Minute. Unlike many of the sports radio savants, I am not predicting a Dallas Cowboys regular season collapse. Unlike previous seasons, I see this crew as different and see them as an easy playoff pick. There is one troubling little thing you can't account for, though. Or two. Or three. One, Jerry Jones conducts himself like Judge Smales from Caddyshack on the sideline, with his head coach in the role of Danny Noonan, condescending, arrogant to the youngster awaiting his orders. Then we have Tony Romo's back issue. Is he going to miss time? And how healthy is he after all this recent abuse? Throw on the fact that DeMarco Murray has around as many carries already as he has ever had in any season, and my concerns grow. Wait, Jason Garrett's their coach, even Steven himself. I won't back off on the Cowboys as a playoff team, but I certainly feel less confident now that I've talked it out. I'm John Kincaid.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience hiring new employees can be tough. With so many job boards out there, you need to post your job on all the top job sites to find the best candidates. Now, with ZipRecruiter.com, you can post to 50-plus job sites, including Craigslist and social networks like LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, all with a single click. Screen, rate, and hire the right candidates fast. Listeners of this program can try ZipRecruiter for free by visiting ZipRecruiter.com/go. That's ZipRecruiter.com/go.
Disruptive may be just another overused buzzword, but disruptions in business like network downtime, data loss, social media abuse, and limited bandwidth are downright disruptive. For businesses large or small, Barracuda Networks offers powerful, affordable, yet easy to implement content security, application delivery, and data protection solutions, all designed to prevent disruptions and simplify IT. For an online demo or to try any of our security or storage solutions risk-free for 30 days, visit barracuda.com/disruptive.
ESPN 1700, Frank Kriticos here at Lunch and Learn Radio. We have two amazing agents in the studio, Minnie Rozowski and also Joe Aronson. Okay, Minnie, so I am really excited to talk about this topic because I know this is kind of a big deal. I feel like this is your baby, so to speak. Now, tell me about this project down in San Felipe that you've been working on, that you actually own, and I just want to hear more about it. And then I want to ask you some of the perceptions of, and I'm sure you already know what I'm talking about, but tell me about this community. Tell me how far it is from San Diego. Can you drive there?
Okay.
So on and so forth.
Okay, the community is called Rancho Costa Verde. Okay, it's located 30 minutes from San Felipe.
Okay.
They're calling it right now actually South Beach. Okay. We have an international.
So I can afford in South Beach.
Yeah, you certainly can. The prices are phenomenal. It's actually a self-contained solar power green community. It's the first ever in Mexico.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So you see no power lines. You have your own sewer septic. You have your own water. It's the whole building, the actual structure is all green. And best of all, they all have sea views.
Oh, jeez.
All of them have sea views.
Now, help somebody like myself, because I'm a transplant. Okay. So you probably remember the first few times I went down to Mexico, I was nervous for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
As a matter of fact, kind of a quick funny story. When I first moved here, the movie Traffic came out not too far before that. So here I am, from the East Coast. It was just very interesting looking back. It was comical because of all the perceptions, which I learned was not accurate. But anyway, that was just kind of funny. It just popped in my mind. But how far is San Felipe from San Diego? Can we drive there?
4 hours.
4 hour drive?
4 hour drive from San Diego to San Felipe. Now remember, back then San Felipe was 7 to 8 hours because the roads were horrendous. Now it's like Freeway 5.
Okay, so straight. Do you go down or do you go east and cross?
To Mexicali.
Got it.
And then it's an hour and a half from there.
Really? That's
yes,
it?
That's it. Now, I know you're talking about crime. There's only 19,000 people living in San Felipe right now. So basically, there's no crime. There's petty crime, maybe, people going into and stealing a TV, and then you'll pick it up at the swap meet down at the swap meet. But there's no crime right now. It's only 19,000 people living in San Felipe. It is a sleepy town. It is a fishing town. If you like to fish, if you like your water sports, San Felipe is for you.
Just a place to relax?
It's just a place to relax.
Close enough you could get away for a long weekend?
That's why I bought. That's why I bought. My ideal of retirement was Mexico, but I'm thinking Cancun. Well, that's a 6-hour flight.
Right.
I went to one of the discovery tours for Rancho Costa Verde. The first time I bought. I liked it so much that I bought a second piece of land there.
Nice. Nice. Good for you.
So now I have 2 lots there. So now I have to build 2 homes.
Good for you.
But the Spaniards are building a 5-star resort there.
Really?
That's going to be completed in 5 years. It's 10 minutes away from our development. The airport, it's an international airport. Limberfield, Sequest Airlines will be flying into San Felipe starting November. They're going to be having 2 flights a week. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you're in San Felipe. Or you could drive 4 hours, which is very, very easy. The roads are straight.
I was just about to ask you that. So the road conditions are fine. It's not like it used to be.
No,
Okay.
before you had going up and down. That's why it took you 7 to 8 hours.
Right.
Right now, perfect. It's like a 5 freeway, literally.
Wow, that sounds very, very appealing.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you another question, and you're going to laugh at me, but remember, I'm not from here, okay, originally. I'm almost embarrassed to ask you this question, but I know that there's many people that will understand where I'm coming from. Yeah, I hope anyway, making myself feel better. The old thought where the government can come in and say,
No. Americans could buy homes in Mexico under a fideicomiso, which is a bank trust. What happened, you're talking about what happened in Rosarito. Those people were actually living in a, what's the name of that? It's not a fideicomiso. It was a leased land, basically.
Okay.
So when the lease expired, the government took it back.
So they never owned the land to begin with?
They never owned the land.
Ah, that's interesting how that got distorted.
Yeah. Exactly. So here, you actually could buy it, sell it, lease it, rent it, keep it, will it. It's yours.
It's yours, just like here.
It's just under a fideicomiso.
Okay, so when you say under, so is that a bank down
It's a
there?
bank trust.
Okay.
Okay. It's a bank trust.
So is it any different than here?
No.
No?
No. This is the translation.
Okay.
It's similar to a living trust from the United States. In Mexico, it's called a fideicomiso, which translates into a real estate bank trust. It's absolute and it's irrevocable.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
Okay.
That is really interesting. I want to go check it out. I'm going to go down there and check it out with you.
You need to do it. And you know what? Rancho Costa Verde, they do discovery tours every weekend. People, it's free.
But I want to go down with you. Don't you bring down a group of people?
Yes, I do.
You're in a sense representing.
I'm a broker for them.
Okay, that's great.
I liked it so much, I decided to sell it.
Wow.
And invest in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it almost was an accident.
Yes,
it was an accident.
It was, because I had no idea that I was going to like it.
Isn't
but
that the best?
I loved it.
Like that.
I love that area.
Wow, that's amazing. 619-702-2400. Call Minnie directly. Find out about this. I know that I'm going to hook up with you after the show and talk more about it because I want to learn. Now, of course, what everybody is going to wonder, or I'm wondering myself, is how much are we talking?
Yeah.
Is it
that was my question.
Cheap, or because this is the thing. As I told you, I got married in Cabo, and it wasn't really cheap. You know?
No. Cabo is extremely expensive. San Felipe is exactly the way Cabo started. So right now is the time to buy. RMAC, the American developers who's actually developing this development.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're American. It's American. You have HOAs. Get this. Your HOAs are only $200 a year. Your taxes are only $100 a year.
Ooh, wow.
You get a 10,000 square foot lot, where in Mexico, lots are usually 3,000 square feet. All the lots are staggered, so no one's going to block your view.
Okay.
There's sea views. All the lots have sea views. Some are closer. Lots starting 10,000 square foot lots at $17,500.
What?
$17,500, depending on how close or how far back you are.
We have to end the show. We need to head down there right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. And to build actual home, it's $78 a square foot.
Really?
And it's all green material.
$78 a square foot.
A square foot.
Okay, I work with some developers and some clients of mine, and that is ridiculously low.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of all, they started with 350 acre parcel.
Okay.
Now they bought another 350 acre parcel, and now they're trying to get another 350 acre parcel. You're basically getting a home in an acre, because they're only building like 343 homes per 350 parcel.
I something just popped in my mind. For that price, why not buy the lot next to you?
Some lots don't have homes next to you.
Okay.
The way they have it staggered, it's really unique. It's a really unique. No one's going to block your view. Okay, so $17,500, you come in with 30% down.
Okay,
and then the developer finances the remaining.
17.5. I'm writing this down. 30% down. Now, what type of interest rate? Yeah,
5%, 7% interest rates. Nice. Beachfront lots, which are no longer available unless they're able to purchase a property next door, range from $95,000 to $110,000.
Okay.
Homes right now are being built. This is a brand new development. I would say there's probably like around 25 homes being built right now, and they're mostly in the beachfront.
Yeah. What's the average square footage up there? Are we talking, just a $1,200 or 1,200 square foot beach house? Or are we talking?
No, the big beach house right now is 2,000 to 2,200 square feet, 2,400 square feet.
Oh yeah, that's
there's
huge.
There's another smaller one at 1,400. Yeah. There's another house that only has one bedroom. It's almost 800 square feet, and actually, I don't even know who owns it. I can't say the name, but it's an actual lender from San Diego.
Oh, very nice.
He says, I just want to build something small with the ability to add on.
That's a good point. Just to get in early, build something, and almost assuming that you're going to add on to the property.
Right.
He probably has those plans done already. It's just,
It's just, hey, I just want to come on the weekend.
Exactly.
And
it's a vacation spot.
Yeah.
You don't need much square footage, just more to keep clean.
Now, what are the activities to do? Obviously, you said the fishing is a big thing.
Fishing, any water sports. Actually, in this development where I'm at, Rancho Costa Verde, you actually could have your fishing pole out by the beach and get fish there. So you could have your dinner.
Wow.
That's great.
You're getting the sea life, which is whales pass by there. While I was there, we saw a team of dolphins. That's just a typical day for you.
So is it tourist infested yet? I guess.
No.
Are there those party boats that are pulling up to the
Not at
beach?
all. Not at all.
So this is basically 2002 for San Diego. Like get in before it kind of
exactly.
Yeah.
Now what's the limit though? Did you say 350?
For what?
For the total units that will, or total lots?
No, there's going to be 750, I would say.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit over 1,000 if they were able to purchase the other land. The thing is, the reason I bought it is because I wanted to retire. I see San Felipe becoming the next Cabo.
Mm-hmm.
Because it needs everything. It's right now. It's a little fishing village. However, there's events every week. There's the Baja 250.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
They have a shrimp festival that San Felipe is known for the shrimp. It's their blue shrimp. Actually, the shrimp festival is coming up November 7th through the 9th.
Really?
So that's where everybody convenes, and you eat shrimp for the 3 days.
That'd be great to go to. You get a good feel of the community.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of that's always what I'm always interested in. Are the people there, the real people?
Yeah.
Right.
And
culture.
I want to talk more about this. This is getting exciting. You could probably hear my voice. We have to take a break. Joe, I know you have some questions for her as well. If you want to reach out to Minnie, call her right now, 619-702-2400, 619-702-2400. Lunch and Learn Radio, ESPN 1700. We'll be right back.
California Preferred Escrow, serving the real estate industry across San Diego County. For more information about California Preferred Escrow, this great local company, call 619-475-4094. That's 619-475-4094.
Germs, while tiny, are a big deal. So's the Delta Brevard toilet with Flush IQ technology at the Home Depot from only $259. So let's do squeaky clean. Flush IQ means touch-free flushes plus leak and overflow protection. $259 means you won't clean out your wallet to get one. Let's do this. The Delta Brevard toilet from $259. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. U.S. only. Prices may vary by store location. See store for details.
Touchdown Trojans!
And the Bulldogs just got a safety. But the game just started. Dad, we can stream other games with our AT&T devices. It's like being at 3 games at once. But we're at this game.
Wait, honey, shh! Touchdown Wazoo!
AT&T's best ever pricing for families offers 2 to 10 lines, 30 gigs of truly shareable data, and unlimited talk and text, starting at $160 a month for a limited time. AT&T, mobilizing your world.
Switch by October 31st to get this pricing. Pricing is for service on phones with no annual service contract. Other options, charges, and restrictions apply. See store for pricing details.
Times sure have changed since Geico started saving people money over 75 years ago.
We didn't have video games like today, but that's not to say we didn't have fun. One of my favorite games was Don't Get Kicked by the Goat. Now that's some real excitement, especially when someone lost. Yep, back then we knew two things: how to have a good time, and that Geico was always a good deal.
Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years.
All right, welcome back. Frank Kriticos, ESPN 1700 in the studio. Minnie Rozowski alongside her, Joe Aronson. So before the break, I was getting all fired up. I was getting all excited. I almost just left the studio right now. So let's keep on talking about this unique, and this is why I love having agents like you guys come in, because you really do bring something more than the average agent. So, and this is a perfect example. So you mentioned during the commercial break how this is also a really good investment opportunity.
Yes. My train of thought is this: build a home, rent it out while you're not there in San Felipe. It's a perfect place to retire, but it does get a little bit hot July through mid-September.
Okay, because it is a Sea of Cortez?
It's a Sea of Cortez. Sea of Cortez. So it's not the ocean, it's a sea.
Right.
Warm waters. It's one of the saltiest seas. So that's why they have the big blue shrimp.
Oh,
very nice.
Interesting.
Any lobster on that side?
No lobster.
No. That's when I go down to Ensenada there and I get the lobster.
Go to the Pacific.
And just, I mean, people probably have that perspective on Mexico because of everything that's happened over the years. I just took a trip down there, and I'm a white boy as they come, and it was so awesome. I mean, it's not that bad perspective at it at all anymore. I didn't feel out of place. Right. I didn't feel like I needed to worry about anything down there. It was phenomenal.
You know, my experience, and I'm a mix, so I can kind of, people don't really know what I am, so I use that to my benefit. But, I almost feel like in the less populated areas, because I took a dirt biking trip, and we went down to that area. First of all, it's beautiful, the terrain. I had no idea, and I already told you this during the commercial, I had no idea that there were pine forests. It was just amazing. You were laughing at me because I told you I had to stare down with a wild bull. That was interesting. But now I just lost my train of thought. But, I think that the old, untouched areas is what really catches my attention. So this sounds like that area where there's not just Americans everywhere you look.
No, there's not. But there are a lot of Americans living in San Felipe. Okay. It's just, I see it growing in the next 5 years. In the next 10 years, it's going to be like Cabo. Next 20 years, it's going to be super expensive.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I decided as an investment to purchase now. And it's not for everybody because it is right now a little sleepy town, a little fishing town. I mean, you could eat and drink for extremely, cheap prices.
Love it.
They tend to say that you could retire in San Felipe for $1,200 a month. And that's going out to eat maybe 2 or 3 times a week.
Wow.
Very nice.
So,
but what's great about that, my thought is, if you're going to retire there or even go down there for any extended period of time,
for vacation.
You still have family here. So if something happens or you need to just visit San Diego,
4 hours.
4 hours. I mean, you know what? Even if it's 5 hours, big deal.
Right.
You leave 7 o'clock in the morning, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You're there by noon.
Right.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, let me tell you another fact about that.
Okay, good.
Carlos Slim, one of the richest men in the world, is imploding the mountains in San Felipe. He's already taken $30 million worth of gold. So he's investing a lot of money in this area as well. Okay, nice. And it's 24/7 type of work that he's doing. There's a lot of things coming up.
Right.
There's a lot of things coming up in San Felipe. I just see it, where it's going.
Now let me ask you, and I hate to bring this up, but I know that there's people wondering, safety.
Right now, there's no crime. Okay. There might be petty crime, and in the way of people stealing minor stuff, but I was walking down the middle of an alley at 12:30 at midnight and going to one of the famous bars that are there, and I saw dogs, but no crime.
Okay.
Yeah. And while you're going on the 5 freeway, because they do call it the 5 freeway going to San Felipe, you'll see the military there, but they're there to keep the bad drug people out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So drugs aren't going into that region.
And I'm glad you brought that up because, let's be honest. I mean, there's a lot of people that are wondering, and I am too. I mean, I'm not going to try to act like I'm not. Those things cross my mind.
Right.
Because I'm not from San Diego, so.
It does get a little intimidating when you see the soldiers with their guns.
Sure, yeah. Of course.
But they're there to help you. Actually, the highway patrol, if you ever get pulled over, like if you need them, they're there to help you. They're not there to enforce the laws. They're there to assist you if you get stuck on the road.
The only thing I need is for you to teach me how to speak Spanish. I'll be good to go.
Everybody speaks English there.
Okay, good.
No problem.
And that's another thing, because I bet you people are nervous. I'm that type of person. I get nervous, language barrier. But,
nope, you have no problem.
It seems like in all parts of the world, at least you can have a conversation in English and be just fine.
I've done a good amount of traveling. And everywhere, I mean, that you can find people that do speak English. But I just want to say, I mean, I've been in places on this world that absolutely I didn't feel that comfortable. And then my recent trip just down to Ensenada, it was absolutely fine. Everybody speaks English. There was nothing to worry about. It was great. And, I felt in other parts of the world where it wasn't that way. And those are tourist spots. And there was probably more crime going on over there than down in Mexico and across the border there.
So for anybody that has questions, and I know that, or interest. I'm interested. So they can call you directly, right?
Call me directly. We do complimentary dinner presentations. They could come have dinner on us. We take them on a discovery tour and bus Saturday through Monday. It's free. It's on us. They do need to go to the dinner presentation and or see a video.
Okay.
So the best way is to either contact me or email me so I could send them the link.
So you pay for
everything.
the party bus,
everything.
Right? And you head down there.
Yes.
Stocked with tequila.
Well, not in the bus. When you get to San Felipe, well, put it this way. RMAC, the company who owns this development, they'll feed you and they'll give you lots of margaritas to a certain extent.
Got it. They will feed you well, I'm sure.
Right.
That's great.
It's free.
Yeah, I can't wait to check that out. So call Minnie directly, 619-702-2400. Such an easy number. I don't know how you got that easy number. 619-702-2400. Joe.
Yes.
Man.
That was some exciting stuff. And you guys got to see the passion over here on her face. You can't see it on the other side of this radio, but yeah, she is passionate about this.
Joe, there's something I wanted to bring, something I wanted to ask you because I've been wondering about this myself. I'm one of those people that I will once in a while go to the big sites, Trulia, Zillow. I feel like there's not a lot of accurate information there. You told me something a long time ago that really stuck with me as far as maybe some unethical things that agents will do when after a property gets sold. But just give me your whole take on that, because a lot of people ask me, about those websites.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show is hiring an agent to inform you, because when you have these lone wolf buyers who are out there looking on Trulia and Zillow, I mean, they're getting all this misleading information. Not only do they not get everything disclosed on the site, but they get old information. Agents, and like what you're just talking about, agents will actually leave their properties up on Trulia and Zillow to continue to generate leads to buyers inquiring about the property.
So a house gets sold, but they don't remove it to generate more calls from.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then my buyer calls me and says, Joe, this place is still on the market. We need to go after it. And I'm sitting there telling them, no, it's pending. It's in escrow. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
And it happens all the time. Absolutely all the time. The next thing to talk about there is we call those portal sites. So Trulia, Realtor, and all those other sites. What happens is when an agent takes a listing, they put it on the MLS and it goes out instantly to all the brokers' websites. So as agents know about it. It takes about 2 to 3 days to syndicate out to these big portal websites.
Okay.
All right. So if you're a lone wolf buyer, you're looking on your own and you're trying to find the right property, you're finding out about that property 2 days later than someone that's working with an agent.
So it's almost like a web crawler where these websites go out and they pull the data.
That's what they're doing. Yeah.
But they're doing it late. It's not.
It's not instant. No.
Got it.
No.
Your agent should have the up-to-date information.
No, I didn't know that.
Yep. My website, San Diego RealEstateToday.com, is updated daily, and a lot of brokerage websites are.
Okay.
But that's another thing. I have clients call me and, I want this property, and sure enough, they already have 3 offers on it. When if they were working with me, beforehand, I would have called them and said, hey, this place just came on the market. It's right down your alley. Exactly what you're looking for. And we beat the crowd.
Right.
That could be, if you're the first offer in, you get it accepted in the first 2 days, then everyone else that's been waiting for it to come on the website come to the table, but we already have an accepted offer. You're missing out on that bidding war, and that's phenomenal. That's $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 you're going to save there.
Okay, good. So give me some tips or advice for buyers as a whole. Is there something that you could just list off, just advice for buyers? Because I know there's a lot of people out there that want to buy, and it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, absolutely. And we don't expect buyers to know everything. So what do you have to do right from day one is you got to interview agents. You got to find an agent to work with.
And stick with that agent.
Go online, go to Yelp, go to Trulia reviews, go to Google Plus reviews. Find a good agent, reach out to them, interview them for the job. If you guys click and you guys can get along and you know that they're a successful agent, then commit to that agent.
Okay, yeah. That sounds, it's something that sounds so logical and obvious, but so many people don't do it.
It's the biggest investment of a lot of people's lives, and they're gonna not hire a professional.
I hear you. We have to wrap up the show. Thank you guys so much. You guys did a great job. I'm really excited that you both came on today. And again, I'm not the real estate expert. I know a little bit just to get myself in trouble and give out inaccurate information, which I try not to do. But that's why it's so valuable to me and so valuable for our listeners to have people such as yourself to come in. So call Minnie if you have any questions. You need to reach out to her in regards to the San Felipe project. 619-702-2400. And also Joe Aronson, he's got a lot of things going on. I feel like you're the new
breed.
The new breed. I know you're big into technology.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's going somewhere. And I'm pretty impressed by where you come so far.
Yeah,
but reach out to you directly, 888-503-3117. Again, Joe Aronson, 888-503-3117. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be back on Monday from 12 to 1 p.m. here on Lunch and Learn Radio.
California Preferred Escrow, serving the real estate industry across San Diego County. For more information about California Preferred Escrow, this great local company, call 619-475-4094. That's 619-475-4094.
Wells Fargo has exciting news. Until November 16, 2014, customers can come in for a free credit score and complimentary credit report. That's almost as exciting as a credit tip sung by a barbershop quartet.
Your payment history is the biggest factor in your credit score.
Not bad, guys. Come into Wells Fargo for your free credit score and complimentary credit report. Wells Fargo.
Together we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Bank N.A. member FDIC. See a banker for specific promotion details.
Why such a sourpuss, Gary?
Our QB is on the IR ticket, Oak.
Well, that's a bad surprise.
And our receiver's out. Turns out he can catch a cold.
Double trouble, G-Man. Here's a good surprise. At StubHub, you never pay added fees at checkout, ever.
Finally, a good surprise.
Time to turn that frown into a first down, Gare Bear.
I will.
At StubHub, the price you